Welcome, welcome. My name is Cindy Lish, and I'm super excited that you're here with me today. I am an accomplished career coach that helps stay-at-home moms with the confidence, tools, and skills to successfully get back to the workforce. Yep, that's exactly what I do. So whether you've been home for 20 minutes or 20 years, this is the place for you. In fact, over the past 9 years, I've successfully helped over 600 women to get back to the workforce at jobs they absolutely love. Okay, before we get started, pop on over, subscribe to my channel so you're the first to know every single time I have those videos out, which is weekly on Wednesdays. Look below, I've got a lot of free content for you. You can sign up to my mailing list, get content delivered directly to you, free private Facebook group, free masterclass, free one-on-one sessions, all kinds of resources available just for you, just so I can help you out in your job search. Okay, today we are going to talk about, should you apply for the job if you don't like all the tasks and responsibilities in the job posting? Okay, so now I'm going to look you directly in the eyes and I'm going to say, let's be careful first off that we're not looking for reasons to talk ourselves out of applying for the job, right? Because we're scared, because we're nervous, because we're afraid no one's going to hire us, right? That we're not putting this as an obstacle that either I can't do everything or I don't want to do everything. Okay, so just put that out there and we're going to keep discussing this because it might be that you shouldn't apply, but probably you should. So let's keep talking. Now, when you're looking at a job posting, you're going to see responsibilities. I want you to read through the job posting and then I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to think about, what does this job mostly look like? What does it look like most of my day is going to be filled doing? And now say, is most of the day stuff I want to be doing, or is most of the day stuff that I don't want to be doing? Because the most part is the important part. Okay, I want you to think back to every job that you've had in the past. Okay, every job, every volunteer experience you've had. I even want to think about your daily life and what you have to do. And we have to honestly say, all of us, that not every part of our jobs, not every part of our volunteer work, not every part of what we have to do every single day is something that we love doing. But it's just part of the process. It's something that's part of a responsibility, something part of something larger, something that needs to be done. Right? I mean, come on, how many of us really enjoy folding laundry? Come on, really? I don't think anybody, right? So, so think about that. So when you're doing a job, now also I want you to think about, what are all the positives about the job, right? What are all the amazing things that you get to do and opportunities that you have at this job versus the parts of the job that you're not as thrilled with? Okay. And the idea is that the things that you really, really like about the job should be more valuable to you, should weigh higher than the things you have to do about the job that you don't like to do. Okay. Making the things that you don't like to do worthwhile because of what you gain. Okay. So, like, for example, in every job, that I've ever had, filing was involved, right? High level program management, no matter what it is, we're still filing things. And whether you're filing papers or you're filing things digitally, there's still that level of having to do that. Not my favorite thing to do. Am I good at it? Yeah, but still not my favorite thing to do. But everything else I got to do was so cool that it was so worth it to have to deal with, okay, and I have to file, right? So I want you to think about it in that way. And now I'm going to ask you to think about it and postpone the decision until later in the process. So what does that mean? So that means, instead of looking at a job posting and from a one-page job posting, talking yourself out of the job because there are going to be elements of the job that you don't prefer, that you don't like. What if you gave both sides the opportunity, meaning yourself and the company, to apply for the job, to go on the interview, and then to see what it's really about, right? Because not every job posting is well written. Not every job posting is giving you a very clear picture of what the job looks like. Sometimes you'll have job postings that it looks like something that's much, much more glamorous than it really is. And sometimes you'll have job postings where it's written in a much simpler form and it's actually a much cooler job than what they're writing there. Okay. So what if you gave yourself the opportunity that instead of closing the door up front, you said, okay, I looked at this job. I was somewhat interested in this job. It was pretty cool. Let me target my resume and cover letter for this job. Let me have the opportunity to go in the interview, and then let me make a decision then, right? Let me see what the environment looks like. If it's an in-person interview, let me see what the place looks like. If it's if it's a remote job, if it's a video interview, let me go on. Let me see how they come to the table. Let me see what the training process is. Let me see what the flexibility is. Let me see what the hours are. Let me see what the salary is. Let me see what the demands are. And then let me make the decision, right? Let me ask questions on the interview. Let me ask them, what does a typical day look like, right? Let me ask them, what does success look like? How will I be judged? What would success look like in this position? So that I can get a better understanding of what the job is before I close the door, right? The same way, think about it this, the same way that you want the employer to give you the opportunity for the interview because you're thinking that your resume is not the best description of who you really are and everything that you could bring to the table. Let's give them the opportunity, if the job looks somewhat interesting, of applying for the job, getting through that interview process, and seeing what it's all about before we close the door, okay, and deny ourselves that potential opportunity, okay? And remember that you're always in the driver's seat. You are always the one that's in control. So when you go on the job interviews and then you're like, oh my goodness, every single part of this job is just data entry and I don't want to do data entry and there's no people interfacing and I'm going to be working remotely on a computer where I'm always on a video and they're timing, my keystrokes and they're timing everything. This is not what I want to do. Okay, now you know, and now you know it's not what you want to do, and now you can dismiss it. But if it's not clear, if it's not 100% clear on that job posting, you both deserve the opportunity to go for it, okay? Because what I see this over and over and over again, and we let that fear of, well, I'm returning to the workforce. I don't want to have to do something I don't like. I don't want to have to go to a job where I hate going. And I don't want you to have to do something you don't like either. And I definitely don't want you to go to a job that you hate going to. Who wants that? Especially if you're returning to the workforce after you have, a gap and you want to do something that you're excited about, that you're passionate about, that lights you up. But I'm asking you to consider giving it a chance first in the interview process before you allow those fears, and most of it being your fear of what it means to go back to the workforce, to paralyze you and stop you from applying to jobs. Okay? I hope this was helpful. I hope this gave you a different perspective on how you're thinking about applying for the jobs and opens you up to opportunity. And that's what it's all about. Opportunity, looking at jobs, because you never know when you're going to find a job that's going to be, your favorite, the best thing, and it's going to be the perfect fit. Okay. I also want you to remember that what most people like about jobs is how they made them feel. The relationship that they had with other people, the team members, the clients, whether they had a great boss, whether the boss allowed them some independence, some autonomy, or whether the boss was a micromanager, right? These are a lot of the parts of jobs that when people are asked, what do they like best about their last job, that they liked, okay? So keep that in mind, okay? Hope you found this super helpful. So much more free content for you on my blog, on my website, on my Facebook group. Sign up for it all. If you like what you saw here today, give me that thumbs up, share it with your friends so I can help as many women as possible to get back to the workforce. I hope you have a super productive week. You know what I tell you, always remember you're a warrior, and I'll catch you the next time. See you next week. Bye-bye.